Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Tuesday tip, where in this video I'm going to be covering a very quick and simple tip that could improve your BMX brakes. Okay, so what we've got going on here might not be immediately apparent to some of you, but I do know that there are at least a few of you right now who are watching this and know exactly what's going on up here. What we've actually got are brake pad spacers on our London mod. So yes, this is a tip that's probably only going to apply to people with dual lower gyro cables, which I feel like is a lot of what I talk about, but it's what I have and it's what I've figured out tips for. And I actually didn't figure this one out for myself. So while I take this off to give you a better look, I'll explain where this idea came from. Basically, I had someone comment on my YouTube channel on a video. His name is Joel Arsenault. I hope that I said that correctly. I'll put it on the screen and I'll give a link to his YouTube channel. He sent me a video, or sent me a link to a video of him using car brake line instead of brake housing. And then he did something to his London mod in order to, let's say, angle it so that the path from the brake cable to the brake arm back here is more of a straight path. And in doing so, he modified his London mod, which isn't exactly something that I personally wanted to do because I'm sentimental like that, and this London mod is like 10 years old. But he gave me a suggestion to take brake pad spacers, just like these ones here. I will focus this again for you. Just like these normal brake pad spacers, the skinnier version of those. He gave me the suggestion to try those and put them on the London mod to see if I could use it in the same way that you use it for brake pads and angle the London mod in a better way. And as you can see here, I mean, in order for the London mod to have a perfectly straight shot from the cables to the back, it almost needs to be way down here, but we don't have that option on BMX bikes, obviously, without extending this. So I'm going to take off the other spacers. All I did here was just get two sets of these spacers. One of them is the concave and one of them is the convex. Two sets of the small ones, which I just dropped. And if I put this back on here the way it was, the angle of this thing is kind of up, and that is the exact opposite of what we want on our brakes. We want the angle to follow the way it naturally would from the brake cables to the brake arms. So I tried the brake pad spacer suggestion that Joel gave me, and I put it on the back side of the cable guide where the London mod screws into. One, because I didn't want it in front of it, because then it blocks the bolt to tighten this down, and sometimes this does loosen itself up and needs retightened, and I didn't want to have to take everything apart to do that. And two, because this bolt tightens into this cable guide, and I think that there just wouldn't be as much room for things to move around as there is with the brake pad spacers all behind the cable guide and on either side of the London mod. So the way you do this is literally the same as you do it on your brake pads. You put the convex and the concave brake pad spacer together, and on one side of the London mod, then you put it onto the other side, just like we're doing here. Forcing it on because it doesn't want to play nicely right now. Then we tighten our bolt down, and as you can see, we're going to have some adjustment in where things sit. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to see, but I'll give you a before and after on the screen. Very clearly, this now kind of points downward rather than upward the way that it did. And as I said, I'll put a before on the screen as well. And just like any other time you're messing with your London mod, all you're doing is tightening things down. I want to make sure that they're straight. And I've given this at least 2 sessions of riding to test it out before making this video for you guys, because I wanted to make sure that it worked and that things weren't going to, you know, fall apart or something like that. And there we have it. Very simply, we added in these brake pad spacers. Takes all of 5 minutes, and we can completely change the angle of our London mod without modifying the mod. So we're not modding the mod here. We're just adding some things in order to change the angle, and it makes the brakes pull smoother. It's a noticeable difference, and it's something that I thought I would share for you guys. So there you have it, a very quick, easy, and cheap tip that could help you to improve your BMX brakes. This is something that literally requires almost no knowledge and skill, and it's going to be either very cheap or free for most of you out there, because if you've ridden brakes for any amount of time, or you're anything like me, you probably have several sets of brake pads sitting around that you can just steal these spacers from, throw them on your bike quick, and completely change the angle of things and make your brakes feel that much better with all of 5 minutes being put in. If you made it this far in the video, you've probably already put more time into watching this video than this tip will take you to complete. So with that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope that you guys found this useful and learned something. Check out Joel's channel in the description below, and a huge shout out and thank you to him for allowing me to talk about this in a video for you guys to hopefully help some of you. And if you guys enjoyed this video and you're new here, make sure you subscribe, share the video with a friend, and we'll see you next time for another video. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.